tutorial on this and send it to y'all. And I'll also let me know when you get back to your school if you have trouble with this. Because I don't know if it's a central office thing or if it's all of our server thing. So let me know what happens when you get back to your school. And we may have to, this could be our little nudge. We need to be able to do this. Okay? All right. So we're going to start today by just getting like a refresher. Who can I use today? Carla, can I use your website to show a little bit? Okay. All right. So first things first, you got to log in. So let's make sure that we're all set with logging in. So let's go to our school website and let's log in. If you can't log in or if you have issues seeing the design toolbar, I'll come fix you. Raise your hand if you need any help with that. We only had 2 people yesterday. Remember the first day of training last time when we spent an hour and a half with login?
That's why we're here, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. She wanted not. Yes, I can log in, but I'm not going to. Okay, let me give you temporary conditioning. Now I'm going to say I might not like that one. That one's definitely one that I don't want that. Probably. Yeah, are you okay. That was probably a compromise from whatever side. Try going to brown first, and then typing in everything that happens. Anybody else need help with logging in or credentials? Okay. So, and remind your teachers, because I have so many people email me and they're like, I can't see I don't have editing rights. And the first thing I say is, did you log in? And they're like, no. So, you gotta log in first, or else anyone in the world can come and our website. All right. So, this little bar up here, this bar, and this is how I explained it yesterday, and it really, I think, helps some people. So when I first started this website, I didn't get trained on it. I tried to like jump in and kind of teach myself a little bit, and I was really confused by like what the design bar was actually, how it was connecting to the page. Like if I go to something, how do I know that it's doing what I want it to do? So what I have learned is that this design toolbar responds to what page you're on. So if I'm on the home page and I go up here to page options and I look at page properties, I'm looking at page properties for the home page because I'm on the home page. But if I go to students and go up to page options and page properties, I'm looking at page properties for students. So this design toolbar responds by what page you are currently on. So when you're going to edit your website, you got to think first, what's the page I need to edit? Let me get there. And then you go from there. If you're trying to edit something on the student's page, but you're on the home page, it's not going to connect the way you want it to. So you got to go to the page you're trying to edit first and then use the design toolbar. Okay?
Is that the same thing as when you're actually on the page and you see the little pencil?
Yeah, when you turn the design mode on, that little red button up there, when you turn that on, that's when things are able to be edited on the page. You know, like when you hold down an icon on your iPhone and everything starts to shake? That's the exact same concept. When we turn design mode on, things start to shake and we can edit it. Okay? So if you don't have design mode turned on, then you're not going to be able to edit the content on your page. Yes?
Once you turn the design mode on and you go to edit that section, the design mode button flips back to red.
So you have two options. You have inline editing, which is when I turn design mode on and I just start and I click and I just start typing. Or I can turn design mode on, I can click the pencil and I can start typing. So it's your choice if you want to click the pencil on the content pages or if you want to be on the inline editor. But keep in mind that if you click on the pencil and you hit publish and you get back to that page, the design mode's turned off again. So you're going to have to switch it back on. So if I like to stay on the page I'm editing, that way I don't have to continuously click this on and off. Does that make sense?
Because once you click that pencil,
Mm-hmm.
the design mode went back to red. So is it saving?
So if you want to save, you can save it for yourself, which is save. But if you want to publish it to the world, you hit publish. Let's say that I do this, and then the bell rings. And I'm like, oh, I haven't finished my page. Let me hit save. It goes back to what I had. But then when I come back and click in here, it's where I left off, and then I'm ready to hit publish for the world. And then I turn design mode off, and that's what everybody sees.
Like, can I address something? That I think I see where you're coming with this. It's two different ways to do the same thing. With design mode on, you can move things around on your page that you can't move around by just editing. Let me bring the computer real quick. If I were to say change the layout of this page because I had more information than what it originally allows me, this one is going to give me some extra red boxes that I can put stuff in. And now when I come down here, I have red boxes here and here. So with design mode on, I can bring other content down here, and I can't do that if design mode's not on. And then let's say I write stuff in this particular box and I publish it. And I say, no, I don't want it there anymore. I want to move, I want to swap these two. So that's one of the things that design mode allows me to do is I can actually come in here and I can bring this one's being ugly to me, but it won't let me move it. It'll let me move it over here right now. But then I can move things around. Design mode is the only feature that allows me to do that. However, I can edit what's in the content in multiple ways. One way is in design mode. Another way, you don't have to have design mode on at all. You can actually go into checkout and edit, or you can come over here and click the pencil and you see a different type of editor. Does that answer your question on when that button goes on and off?
Sometimes I would go in and edit with the pencil, and then I look back up at the top, and the design mode flip back to red.
If you click the pencil, it's going to go back to red.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can move.
Okay,
The moving is the big feature that you can do the inline editing, which is cool because you can see what you're doing when you're doing it, but you can also move things around, and that also applies to your home page. And you can't move those things around if the design mode button's not on. But it flips off because if you're in that little Word doc looking editor, there's nothing to move.
okay.
Does that make sense for everybody? Does that clarify a lot? Because I think that's where we get hung up the most, is like knowing what mode are we on, what are we doing.
I'll work and then I would think of it like, oh, shoot.
And then also a lot of people will save something and they're like, it's not there. It's because you saved it for yourself, and not until you hit publish is it available to everybody who's visiting your website. And this website does, like she said, there's multiple ways to do a lot of the same thing. It's just what's going to work best for you and your method. So that's the design mode and how it works and how the design toolbar functions with it. All these widgets, like she showed you, are able to be dragged and dropped into the page. All of these. So like she showed you, you can go up to page options and page layout for a certain page and drag any of these widgets. And don't just think that there's the basic ones, because look at all these. All of these you can use on your website. Okay? All of these do something different that can add to your site. So let's go back to the home page. I'm going to turn design mode off. Actually, let me get rid of all this I've created on your student page. And let me show y'all a quick little thing. I have a post on this, but I've done this to the district site because all of our navigation bar, like a lot of websites, they'll have something right here, but you're not able to actually click on it. You know, it's just like a word, and then you got, these are all the pages. But for us, that's also a page. Students can be clicked on because I'm here right now. So if you, and a lot of these are blank. Like when you click on employees, it's a blank page, or when you click on athletics, it's a blank page. But if you want to quickly add some content right there, you can take this content, go to content management, and grab this page directory widget and drop it down in there, and it will automatically put your sub pages right on the page. And then you can go behind that bar and actually edit how you want it to appear.
See, mine's the one that you can't go to, is the one that says just go in down there, and there's like nothing there. You know, you can click on it, and there's nothing there.
What now?
I have on my toolbar, you know, all the news go, and it says just go in,
Mhm.
it doesn't go anywhere.
Your Jeffco, it doesn't go to www.jeffco. Okay, so also, let me go back to home. You've also got your main header part right here. And you'll notice she's got her logo up here. She's got her school name and her tagline. So let's say you want to add a logo and you want to add a timeline. This is something we're all going to do together, because I'm also going to get y'all to do one other thing that we're all going to kind of, that way I won't have to log into all of y'all's websites and do this manually. But for some reason on y'all's news and blog pages, you're not able to add more pictures to your news article, and you're not able to add links right now. So we're going to switch that today. And you'll never have to do this again, because it's like really deep into the settings. So if you will, I'm going to show y'all the back end of the system administration part. If y'all don't see this, then let me know. But what you're going to do is you're going to hover over your little dots over here, and you're going to click on System Administration. Okay. The main things that you're going to be using are server settings and manage users. Those are the two that y'all are going to be using the most. Now, all of this is available to you, but the ones you'll probably be touching the most are server settings and manage users. So we'll do the manage users part first. So let's say there's someone at your school and they can't, you're on the phone with them and they're like, Yasmin, I cannot see what you were talking about. And so you say, okay, let me go see what you're looking at. So then you're on the phone with Alan Pridmore, okay? And you say, okay, let me go log in as you and see what you're seeing. So you come over to administrate and you go to manage users where we are now and you find Mr. Pridmore and you come over right here where it says actions and you click log in. I'm now logged in as Mr. Pridmore and I can see everything he sees. My design toolbar is gone because I can't edit. So this is a great way to check to see if what your employees are seeing and help them out. Okay? I'm gonna log out and log back in as me. All right, another cool feature on manage users. Let's say Missy Presley is currently the only one who has gotten all of her staff to upload their pictures. And the way she did this could creep some people out, but I think it's pretty awesome. She told her staff that they needed to add pictures. Let's see, everybody's got one now. Look how nice that looks, how inviting that is. So she told people that they needed to add their picture. When they didn't, and they didn't send her one, she just started going and finding pictures of them and uploading them herself. So now her whole staff directory is complete. The way she did that is you can actually, let's say if you start off with Amanda Loggins, you can go to her profile and then go to edit user photo, and add their photo in. So if you want your staff directory to show everybody's face because it's inviting and it puts a face to a name, and you want to be a micromanager, like I think a lot of us are micromanagers in here. I'm feeling that micromanagement vibe from a lot of you. So I'm also a micromanager, so no offense to me. But if you want to do that, make your website look better and more inviting, you can do that. Yeah, if they just don't want a picture, then you can't force them. Yeah. Or take a selfie. Have a selfie day at your school. Yeah, have a selfie day at your school for your staff and then tell them how to update their picture. They can also update their own picture by clicking on, when they log in, they click on this little silhouette and go to account settings, and then they can add their own photo as well. It's the same view, it's just, like we said, another way to get there. Okay? You can also, if there's something wrong with your address or your city, all that. If you want to add your Twitter, your hours of operation. Let's say you get an Instagram. That's not an option on this, but if you do have an Instagram, just email me and we can get School Messenger to add it. Okay? Because Instagram is like blowing up right now for us. So if that's something you want to do, start an Instagram, we can. So that is the server settings part. Now we're going to go into, if you'll scroll up, you'll see, does everyone see the tab that says text editor settings? This is the part we're all going to do together. So I need everybody to follow along right here. So we're all going to click on text. Okay. Okay, wait, let me start over. Okay, we're server settings. Okay, now everyone see text editor settings? Let's click text editor settings. Now, we're going to go down and click on text editor modes. Everybody see that? Click text editor modes. And then it's default. All right, so now we're going to click on default. We're going to come all the way down the page. We're going to hit select all, and then we're going to hit save. And then we're done with that.
Okay, and that's the thing we're never gonna have to do again.
Never.
Now, what does this do? It gives us.
It's giving you, because in your news right now, you're not able to add it on a big process. I think I already did. Didn't we already did it for you, Jennifer? I can't. Okay, I think I accidentally did it for another one of yours or something. Okay, so now we're done with that. We never have to do that again. All right, let's go back to home. All right, the first thing we're going to do today is the navigation bar. Let's talk about the navigation bar. The navigation bar is the skeleton, it's the backbone of your website. It's the basis. It holds all the needs. So it's very important because it needs to be, you need to step into the mind of your website viewer and think, if I'm looking for this, where would I go find it? If I'm a parent, what's going to be easy for me to get the information I need for my child? Where would I look? What would I click on first? So when we set these up, they were already kind of set up like I did it throughout the board. But we're 56 schools. We are not the same, nor should we be. So this looks different for everybody now, which is great. That's what we want. But I just want to take some time today to look over for duplicate pages. If you've got duplicate pages, here's the time where you can get rid of them. If you've got pages that don't have any content on them, either put content on them or hide them until you can put content on them. If you want to rearrange some pages or add some pages. So let's take till 9:45 to work on our navigation bars. Okay, me, Carol, will be around the room. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and we'll come see you.
I need to learn how to do
We may have to.
But only the first 5 should show up. I say we do that.
And then, just click on that. It's a little scratch. Yeah, when it says that, or the first one is in it pages all the time. Yay, you're welcome.
You go to what's new. You do it.
That's so cute. Yeah, so that whole one. So I would say still have What? If he hasn't changed it yet, he's still sitting there. Don't nudge him. If you want to help him, say, you know, I added some stuff and I can't do it myself. So they're not being switched on through the national grid. Because all of this is being on the active directory. So if they're not showing up, if they're a teacher and they're not showing up in this group, then so can the active directory. Because we have to set it's schools and things. So like we kind of like that data summary. Where we have a data summary on the page, but it's only showing for me. It's like that information that you need to put somewhere else and that's it. And I would include that. I'm seeing these
And so, but there was a new teacher that, but nothing ever. I guess they weren't even there, they were 3 years. Just not like coming around. I feel like that, if they were new teachers, they always. When I set it up, I should have said I was expired. What they No, I got the oh, we just don't have an energy on that word back, it's like perfect. But I'm.
Yeah, and let me clarify something with teacher pages. Y'all's staff directory page has nothing to do with teacher pages. School Messenger just put teacher pages all up underneath school directory pages, subpages, but in no way are they connected. No way.
Wait, this is another thing about medicine, and then example, and that is, not language are still being back.
Yeah, if y'all leads are connected to that SS10, that JCS or whatever we started with, that original URL, email me because we gotta get that over to you. If you look up at the top and it doesn't say your real URL that we give to parents, it says something weird, then we gotta figure out how to get rid of those pages. So email me, just email me, I'm not thinking one of y'all did.
Too much.
But I signed into it, has a report, they say if they just pull the website.
It's not, okay.
Alright, so basically, we just don't have a picture. We got You know what, I'm gonna text her and say, text this over. You want this one? Alright, we're gonna 12, it's not gonna be I guess it works, yeah. I mean, you can't hide though. You like videos. Or you can either like just Donna says she's having that hair day. Let's say, you want to finish on the other side? Yeah. We're trying to get on. Okay. So if anybody else.
And the teachers, you know, that third grade.
I suppose that you're used to doing that, so you Okay, now, the other question is, if a teacher is not on a sketch, but before I had it out,
Okay, you're up. So now, like there's space here, looks like, then there's not space here. This is where I get. Yeah, because it looks hard to talk on that, but then if I publish it. That's right.
Well, in place, especially we always have them and they
See, like, how it is.
She's very good.
The second thing.
Don't pretend you know what it is. It's not like you knew it far enough. And there was the
And summer when I was working with this, I'll do it like every day.
where it's I don't do this. That's the way that I never did anything for days because I would do it. Like we had like one other like when they were driving.
Is that just edge service like a smart TV, like that, or is there? So like the TV? Okay.
What do you do? This is their website, that's her website. To research I don't even know if it's not on my website. I think she's trying to. Because as the teachers are like, you have to do one, yeah. Well, let me just say, so these are your pages. You have your secret plug.
I don't know what this is.
All right,
Yeah, we don't know what somebody can use or anything like that.
So I'm going to start in my Yeah, because like for us, I you didn't do
Okay,
All right, we're gonna move on to the slideshow. And just to confirm what we were just doing, we were looking through our navigation bar and we were seeing if there's a news page underneath school and then there's a news page on our main navigation bar, why do I have two? I need to get rid of one. If you have multiple pages of calendar, which one are you using? Pick which one you're using, because it's confusing when you have news on your main navigation bar, but then you have news underneath this other section. So just make sure that you keep going back to your navigation bar and removing duplicates and any blank pages. So now we're going to dive into the slideshow. So I want everybody to go to communicatejeffcoed.blogspot.com. All right, so on the blog, there is a section or a category specifically for slideshows. So I'm going to click on slideshow. So we can kind of use this as a resource as we're working on our slideshows. So we are going to, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's the slideshow templates. So you can click on your individual, the one you need. Now I want to remind people that we set up these templates at the beginning. So if you have gone back and changed the size of your slideshow to something else, these templates aren't going to work for you. It's going to be a different size. So I'll show you how to change the size of a Google drawing so that if you have in fact increased the size of your slideshow or decreased the size of your slideshow, you'll still be able to use a template every time you go to add one. So every single time that you go to add something to the slideshow, your very first thought or your very first action is going to be going to this template first. You don't upload just raw images to the slideshow, because if you do that, there are multiple sizes. And then when the parent use the high school template, I'm going to click on the high school template. The very first thing, because this is a template, we've got to make our own copy of the template. Now, I suggest that you make your own template and bookmark it somewhere on your computer where you can easily get back to it, and then you don't even have to make a copy. You don't have to go back to the blog every time. You kind of have your own thing set up. Yeah. So the first thing you're going to do, which there's instructions right here, but you're going to hit File and then Make a Copy. Now, this little prompt that it pulls up is letting you name the file. So I may put J Slideshow 1. And then it's letting me pick the folder on my drive where I want to save it. So I don't want to save it right here. I'm going to go back to my main drive and just select my main drive. Now you can create a folder and put, like I have a folder for all of the things I add to the district slideshow. It's just the way I'm naming the file. Like you can come up with your own system. Like you may say slideshow A, slideshow B, or you may name it Fall Festival Slide 1. It's just whatever you want to name it. So I'm going to click OK, and then it's going to open up my copy so I can close that first one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click anywhere on the page and I'm going to drag to where I can select that text that's already on there and delete it because I want a blank canvas. I personally like to zoom out a little bit just because the margins are really skinny and I need some space to work with. So the way I zoom out is I go to View and I click on 50%, so I can see my whole little space. So I know that when I'm adding something to the slideshow, this is the shape and this is the exact size that it needs to be. Now, if your slideshow is a different size, Let's say you've increased yours from 300 pixels tall to 380 pixels tall. If you go to File and then click on Page Setup and then change from inches to pixels, you'll be able to see, okay, the slideshow for the high school template was originally set at 1,000 pixels wide by 300 pixels tall. So you just need to confirm that that's what you're using for your slideshow. If it's something different, then you need to change the size right here. Okay? The elementary. Okay.
Can you show us where to find the pixel?
Hang on one second. Let me see. Let's see, the elementary school is set up for (980 by 300), and then the middle school What's the middle school?
1,000 by 300.
Okay, so the middle school and the high school are the same. No?
975 by 360.
Okay, originally set up. I think you changed yours. You didn't? Because we've got the template set up for the high school as 300 by 300 by 1,000 for the high school. Yeah. So if y'all's is different, if it's 960 by 375, then you would just change it right here. So the way you see what your template is using, you can go to Design Mode On, and then you click on, or you hover over your little slideshow, and you click on the pencil. And then this right here, your dimensions will show you what you're set up as. So this is 960 by 375. So that means I need to change this. Maybe they changed it after Amanda created these. This was so long ago.
She sent me was 960 by 375.
Okay.
For the high school.
How many high school do we have? Do we have a lot of high school under today? Don't we? Okay, just confirm what y'all's is and just make sure that your template is set up for the right size. If y'all's is still 1,000 by 300, then keep it like that. But if it's not, change it to 960 by 375. Yes, ma'am.
So when I went into the page itself, it has no.
So that's what you want to say then.
I want to, it's okay that that's template says 1,000.
No, you gotta change it.
Change the template.
Yeah, and the way you change the template is you go to File, Page Setup, change from inches to pixels, and then change your settings right there.
What is the elementary one supposed to be? Because our original one is different from the next one.
Let's see, the slideshow. Let's see.
I'm sorry. It's now to 980 by 300. Yeah, something like that.
This says 980 by 300.
Okay, so if our original one is not that.
Yes. So you just want to stay with one size. I don't care what size it is. You just need to make sure it's the same throughout the board. Just pick one size and go with that throughout. You don't want to have some that's 960 by 300 and some that's 900 by 350. Because it's going to make your slideshow jump up and down. And people are going to say bye to your website. Pick one that you want to stay with, and then take the slide that is not set up that way and redesign it and re-upload it. So what we're going to do with the high school, I'm going to stick with 960 by 375 for high school. So I know this is the space I have to work with. So you can either make a solid background color or a picture background. So if you right click on that, you can hover over background. And then I'm actually going to go to Mortimer Jordan's website. I've got a little extension in my Chrome called Colorzilla. And I'm going to pick that exact color. I'm going to come back to my slideshow and make the background a custom color. And if y'all want that extension, you got to be using Chrome, and then there it is. It's called Colorzilla. Great little fast tool to have. So you can have a solid color background, and then you could like get the text tool and drag and start typing and then save that. Or I like to put pictures. I think that pictures tell a lot more than some words do. So I'm going to click on the mountain right here, and you'll see it gives you multiple ways to upload an image. Google Drive, find an image. Right click.
It looks like well, okay,
make sure you're on like the news, so if you're on news, and here, But yeah, so the biggest thing is.
So